Opinions and ideas expressed in the following Moraine Valley Broadcast Channel recording are those of its creators and do not represent the views of Moraine Valley Community College.
Good afternoon, 7-Minute Radio. This afternoon we have yours truly, Savannah Gill and Manar Ibrahim in the studio. And the big topic for today is, drumroll please, diversity. Today we will discuss what diversity is, diversity in music and performing, and lastly, how we think American people view it. Shall we begin?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I've always wanted to be on 7-Minute Radio, and the topic is just go straight with the issues that we have in our everyday lives.
That is so true. So first we're going to move on to our first subtopic. What is diversity? Webster's dictionary defines diversity as the condition of having or being composed of different elements, variety, the inclusion of different types of people, such as people of different races or cultures, in a group or organization. In my opinion, that's one of the best definitions of diversity. Diversity is so important for a growing and changing society. Diversity means to me to have differences, but use those differences to come together and progress society. Diversity has been a huge part of my life, especially diversity with religion and race. I identify myself as a Christian, and I'm African American. I spent most of the early years of my life in churches and only around other African American people. I lived in Inglewood, which is in the south side of Chicago. Then at 10 years old, I moved to Burbank, and that was the hugest culture shock of my life. I literally went from a place where everyone was like me to a completely different place where there wasn't even a single person who was similar. Honestly, at first, I was a bit scared, but as I grew older, I realized how important it was. There was so much to learn. I believe diversity makes someone more intelligent and more inclusive. How do you feel about that, Manar? What is your experience with diversity?
My experience with diversity is a bit weird because usually people transition from being the same to something that's not similar. But I went from a public school to a private school that had Muslims in it. And so, we were all the same there. And what I learned from being in a public school is that everyone is different, so you learn with the environment around you that everyone's different, and you understand their actions and why they do things and why people believe in things. When you're around different people, you understand their morals and their faith and their values. So when I transitioned to a private school and I realized that everyone there is the same, it just didn't give in to the communicative skills of understanding other people. And that's one of the reasons why I took a psychology class in high school. It was to understand why people do the things they do, because I was always about understanding how people are, why they do things, what makes them different. It's not just race and ethnicity. It's within and beyond.
I totally agree. Since you brought up school, in our Com 101 class this year, we were asked to go to see a performance, Niyaz. What was your opinion or attitude towards the multicultural performance before and after the event? And do you think they're making a difference in society?
When we were first told that we had to attend this event, and it was a grade, I was a bit skeptical. I didn't want to come to school just like anyone else on a day that they didn't have school. It was a weekend. Weekends are supposed to be for yourself, for your family, for your friends, not for school-related events. And I just didn't want anything to do with it. I was just going to go to it for the grade, write an essay. But then the Niyaz group came to our class, and they told us what they stand for, what they do, how they came to be, and I realized that this fits in with the topic of diversity, because their group is Azam and her husband, but if you look within the general group, there's the Canadian man. You just it's the group is formed with different people, so you just know that there's different people coming together, and they're understanding, and they have one goal, and that's to spread the light, hence the name, the fourth light. And it was telling us a story about something. So I think like after them coming to class, it really did change everything, and like it made me view everything in a different perspective.
I can relate to you definitely with the Niyaz story, because first I was a bit skeptical as well. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to like it. There were different languages, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to understand. I was complaining literally the whole time in my head. But when they came to the class and after I saw the event, I'm like, this is actually really beautiful. It's gorgeous. And the message of love and peace, divine love, it stuck with me. And that's something that I think that is going to stay with me forever. But since you and we had a little issue with the difference in diversity or whatever for this event, how do you think that people who are not minorities like you and I, how do you think they'll react to diversity? Because I think the word diversity seems to frighten white-collared America. But what do you think, Minar?
I think the word diversity didn't frighten white-collared America, but now it does, because they had white-collared America was majority, but not anymore, because America is the land of opportunities. So the people came here to spread their wings and find themselves. And that's where the diversity comes in. You have people from all around the countries coming to America. So the white-collared people were once the leaders, and now they're a minority because there's other people. And even if they are different people, they all have one goal, and that's to become something for themselves. So I think that comes to communicate, like take a look around you.
How do you think that we can change the scariness of diversity?
A way that we can change the scariness of diversity is to communicate. That's like number one, because communication is how you're going to get a message spread. You know, if you're just going to be silent and just abide by the rules of what people tell you or anything, you're just not going to hear yourself out. So communication is one, even if it's a small thing, like being involved, like whether it be a lecture, performance. I just went to one, which was Niyaz. I never really cared about school events. I never cared about like meeting other people. I'm here to do my work, get a degree, hopefully get a job. So going to this Niyaz thing made me think maybe I should be going to other things that involve me working with other people and understanding how they do things and how they do other things. So like a way that we can change the scariness of diversity is through communication and involvement, which I think is really, really important in the development of who we are as ourselves and who we are as a group of people, because you understand people from a different perspective. Not every person has the same shoe size, and that's why we're all different.
That's a beautiful analogy, but I think our 7 minutes are way up. So thank you so much for joining us today. You were an amazing guest to have to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you all to our listening. See you next time on 7 Minute Radio.